DepEd Division of Lipa City is committed in the attainment of quality performance through sustainability of efforts in delivering basic education services and program management and implementation. With the occurrence of alarming phenomena the nation has experienced, the whole educational system was shaken. The Division of Lipa has designed mechanisms to ensure that its learners can still master the desired learning competencies. This office believes that the right to education is non-negotiable. It is a basic constitutional right. Hence, continued access to education must be ensured even during times of emergencies and crisis at all costs. Education must continue despite the threat and the different challenges that the system may confront in the coming months and years. In response, DepEd designed its learning continuity plan, remaining true to its commitment to protect the health, safety, and well-being of learners, teachers, and personnel. To directly address the teaching-learning concerns and issues in the new normal environment, the Learning Continuity Plan is premised on the flagship program of DepEd Region 4A, which is the Pivot 4A Cube, or Quality Basic Education. This is to guarantee that quality basic education shall be accessible in this new learning environment, taking into consideration the health and well-being of the learners and school personnel.
SDO Lipa Learning Continuity Plan takes into account the division educational context, highlighting the present baseline data on students, teachers, schools, and the varying capacities and capabilities to adopt to various flexible learning modalities. The workforce of the Schools Division of Lipa City is its primary asset because of the mutual and shared responsibility to attain educational goals by delivering efficient services and providing high quality and standard education. A total of 53,461 basic education enrollees from both public and private schools and 317 ALS were recorded as of June 11, 2020 remote enrollment. In terms of the number of filled, unfilled, and authorized positions for the teaching and non-teaching personnel in the division, as of April 30, 2020, the filled position was 2,627, 71 for the unfilled, and 2,698 for the authorized position. In terms of typology of schools, the division has 85 schools with 42 small, 28 medium, 11 large, and 3 mega schools. In terms of technical readiness, by means of internet connectivity, the Lipa learners who are enrolled in the basic education level shows that 51% owned mobile data, 32% owned broadband internet, 14% were using net outside their homes, and 3% were no access at all. 63% of the parents have an income below 10,000 pesos, 25% of them were ranging from 11,000 to 20,000, and the remaining 12% were up to 20,000 pesos. 1,521 teachers, or 65%, have laptop or desktop and internet connectivity at home. 809 teachers, or 35%, have laptop or desktop but internet signal is not available or installation for internet is beyond their capacity. 68% of the teachers have 10 to 20 years teaching experience, while 32% has less than 5 years. Teachers are competent in using email, word processing software, uploading and downloading files, the use of social media like Facebook and Messenger, and sharing lesson and classroom activities on the web. They are only familiar with blog and wikis and in different learning management system but did not able to use it. On the other hand, they can be able to convert printed content and activities in the curriculum to the digital form, design online assessment, and develop electronic learning activities. They are not also using Twitter and Instagram. Teachers highly recognize the importance of parental involvement and community engagement in integrating digital curriculum. They also utilize experiential learning in creating classroom activities and encourage their learner to share life experiences. They also affirm that they can support the interaction and collaborative among learners as a means of teaching and learning and can use technology to support their teaching methods. In terms of support from household, 72.5% of parents and guardians and 27.5% of other members of household have manifested assistance in providing support to their children during distance learning. Vision needs to exert more effort, especially in the reproduction of learning materials for blended learning, enhancement of teachers on the new normal through LACT session, and strengthen partnership with stakeholders. As a response to the existing needs, the LGU has realigned its budget in Special Education Fund for the procurement of 2,353 laptops for teachers, 2,500 tablets for senior high school learners, and 6 heavy-duty printers for the reproduction of modules and learning materials. Based on the underlying context of the learners, demographic location of the division, capacity of the parents, available resources, engagement of all teaching and non-teaching personnel, and support of the local government unit, the following mechanisms were responsive in delivering basic education services in the school's division of Lipa City.
Class programming and sectioning is very vital in the implementation of learning modality. It shall characterize the responsive teaching approach that can be utilized for a more meaningful learning experience.
In terms of class programming and sectioning, the school head plays a vital role in classifying the teachers' and learners' readiness in learning modalities. School head shall categorize the enrolled learners per grade level and the capacity of the teachers in teaching different modalities, organize teacher and class schedule considering distribution and retrieval of materials, FB live streaming, monitoring of learners' performance, and other activities. The learners can be 20 to 25 per class. Teachers shall identify the capacity of the learners in adopting the learning modality considering the residence, availability of gadgets and internet connectivity, and conduct of orientation, conferences, and periodical tests.
Learning resources refer to the modules provided by the department and other supplemental materials, activity sheets, worksheets, or study guides that are being developed by the division and have undergone quality assurance and validation by Division LRMST.
The first step is crafting. Craft supplemental learning materials such as activity sheets, worksheets, digitalized learning materials, or study guides based on most essential learning competency and RO4A BAU and IDEA model. Quality assure and validate supplemental learning materials through Division LRMS. Simulate the use of each materials to ensure that learners and teachers shall understand it. Next is packaging, which covers printing, sorting, arranging, and packaging. This includes distributing soft copy of the supplemental learning materials to the districts through Division LRMS team. Printing materials 1 month before its use, distributing printed materials to the schools, and sorting, arranging, and packing the materials in the students' learning packets. Last is distributing and retrieving. Materials will be distributed through pick-up by parents on the designated place or area in the school or barangay, hatid bahay, barangay delivery, and through online. Schedule of the distribution and retrieval of learning material will be bi-monthly for kinder to grade 2 and monthly for grades 3 to 12. Retrieving of all learning packets will be through retrieval by parents on the designated place or area in the school or barangay, kuha bahay, barangay collection, and through online. Final step is distribution of succeeding learning packets upon the retrieval of the accomplished learning materials.
SDO Lipa shall adopt IDEA model in its teaching learning process. More so, it shall religiously utilize DepEd most essential competencies and RO4A BAU enabling competencies in its learning delivery processes. Additionally, specific actions were aligned to ensure the effectiveness of instruction.
For the introduction, there will be Facebook live streaming of different subjects and grade level every first week of the month. One select teacher per subject per grade level shall do the streaming. Live streaming shall focus on introducing the lesson or topic and discussion of content of the lesson. Furthermore, learners will study using their contextualized learning materials at home with the assistance of their parents, guardians, brothers, and sisters. For the development, follow-up activities shall be answered by the learners to enhance their development of knowledge. And weekly online or virtual class using the learners' smartphones will be conducted as a follow-up discussion of the lessons. Next is engagement. Enrichment activities or worksheets shall be provided to learners as part of their learning packet. Learners can use DepEd Commons, radio, TV, and other learning resources to enrich their knowledge. In this part, experiential learning is being applied, and home-based and community-based learning is expected to be developed. Class advisor shall conduct consultation or conference with parents regarding the status of the learner while performing their task at home, either through call, text message, or video conference. End line is assimilation. Formative assessment will be incorporated in their contextualized learning materials, worksheets, and lesson guides. A self-evaluation of the lesson is also included in the materials. All throughout, experiential learning is applied and being developed through different learning modalities.
SDO Lipa shall adhere with DepEd Order No. 8 Series 2015, engaging learners' achievement and learning outcomes through written performance, summative, and periodical test.
Written performance learning packets shall be accomplished by the learners. The learning packets will serve as the student's portfolio. Teachers will record the learner's performance based on the result of the activities they answered and on their written performance. The summative test and periodical test, learning assessment responsive to the situation, will be scheduled to measure learners' knowledge, skills, and extent of their achievement consistent with MELC and RO4A BAU. It will be administered at home. Materials for summative test shall be administered after the retrieval of the preceding learning packets. Periodical test shall be administered on the scheduled date set by the DepEd. Materials shall be handpicked by the parents early morning of the scheduled date and shall be returned in the afternoon.
Periodic monitoring and evaluation cuts across all the areas of the LCP implementation. This is to ensure that all the processes are being implemented effectively. Likewise, needs-based support and technical assistance can be provided immediately. Furthermore, monitoring and evaluation results shall be the basis for policy review, recommendations, and formulation. To operationalize all our efforts to continuously deliver basic education services, DepEd Lipa shall adopt this LCP framework. The implementation of the DepEd Lipa LCP is a joint commitment and concerted efforts of the top management, schools, parents, LGU partners, and community stakeholders.